reviews, and other related videos.
Hey guys, welcome back to another review. So my name is Michael, and today I'm going to be talking about the SteelSeries Sensei. So, a couple things that I really like about this mouse is one, the customization, two, the actual shape and comfortability of the mouse, and three, the amazing sensor that this bad boy does have. So those are the three topics that I'm going to be going in depth about today. So first of all, I'm going to talk about the aesthetics of the mouse. It does have this mirror-like coating on it, and it is contrasted, or whatever word you want to use. It is paired with a rubber side here, so it's kind of like an anti-sweat, anti-slip kind of a grip here. Feels very, very nice. Once in a while, sometimes I do eat in my computer room, so it does get kind of greasy. So I do have to clean it once in a while. Customization of the mouse. You can actually change the logo here. So here I have Sphinx, basically just my custom logo that I did. You can do it on Paint. It's very easy to do. So while I'm on the bottom of the mouse, I just want to talk about the mouse feet. So you got the standard SteelSeries kind of a design of the feet. It is a high-grade Teflon. It does glide very, very well. I like the feet. It doesn't glide too much, and it doesn't like not glide. So basically, you can glide it very quickly, and you're still going to be in control. So it's really, really good for FPS gaming. Another thing I do want to talk about is the shape of the mouse. So it's not a very thin mouse, and it's not a small mouse at all. So I have fairly large hands, so I'm just going to put like a side by side. So it's kind of like a bigger mouse, but not gigantic. So I can palm it, I can claw it. So this will pretty much fit every gripping style. And now I'm just going to take you guys into the more performance specs of the mouse, and I'm actually going to just hop right into the SteelSeries engine and show you the actual customization of the settings of the mouse. I'm just going to show you guys the customization of the mouse itself. So obviously you can name your own custom profiles to whatever you like, and then you can set them on board. I do have tutorials for this, so definitely go check those out. So here you can change the exact sensitivity of the mouse. It goes by CPI, which is counts per inch, and you can actually increase them by increments of 1. So you can actually have the mouse CPI at 1, or you can go all the way up to 11,400, which is DCPI, double counts per inch. So basically any CPI you choose, that's what you get. And you do have two options. So you can have your first CPI and your second CPI. Like, let's say if you're in a game where you need multiple sensitivities, like on the fly, you have the CPI button, and you can just change it on the go. So I have 450 and 500. The exact lift, which is basically the lift-off distance of the mouse itself, you can change it to very high or very low. I suggest changing it to the lowest you can get with without having bad tracking. So around like 3, 5, or 7% is probably the best, just because when you lift off your mouse, it stops tracking, so you don't want any jitter when you're lifting off your mouse. So I have it on 7%. I mean, you don't have to have the settings that I have, but that's something I prefer as a competitive FPS gamer. So yeah, definitely change it to whatever you like. I mean, I guess some people like a higher percentage. Like, I know some people like 40%. Sometimes 40% works really well. It also just depends on what kind of a mouse pad that you have. So just go into the game and just mess with the settings and find what's best for you. So here are a couple of other settings: acceleration, deacceleration, and pretty much prediction and angle snapping. I highly recommend that you don't enable any of this. I would set everything at 0, just because if you're playing FPS games, you don't want acceleration, you don't want deacceleration, and you don't want any angle prediction, just because sometimes the mouse will move the way you don't want it to move, just because it thinks it's doing the right thing, but it's not, just because the prediction is off. And just another thing, the acceleration. Some people play with acceleration, but I
don't like it, just because it causes very inaccurate tracking, and sometimes when I want to move very slow, the mouse will just fly across the screen and I'm just screwed. So I actually just turn it off. So even when you have all these settings off, you'll still get 3 to 5% acceleration on this mouse, just because all laser mice will have some sort of acceleration. So I do have a tutorial on how to completely eliminate acceleration. It is the Mark C Windows fix. So I will have a link in the description. So be sure to check that out. Yeah, so like I said again, I'd probably just disable all this crap. So you have some illumination settings here. So this is for the LCD screen and the LEDs. So I changed mine all the way up to the brightest and most contrasted. So it looks very, very cool. And I did load my custom bitmap image. So mine says Sphinx. Yeah. Basically anyone can do it. I did mine on Paint, so you can't say I can't do it. Yeah, because you can. I did mine on Paint. So yes, you can do it. And you have illumination colors for the LED, so the scroll wheel, the SteelSeries logo, and the CPI toggle button. I have mine on this little aqua color, but you can basically choose any color you want in the whole entire universe. So you have the whole rainbow here. Yeah, the whole damn rainbow. So you can choose anything. You can change it darker, lighter, desaturate it, saturate it, brighter, whatever. And if not, you can just get a color off the internet and just use the hex code. Bam, hex code, bam, hex code. Pretty simple enough. Yeah. So polling rate, you have 4 options: 125 Hz, 250 Hz, 500 Hz, and 1000 Hz. Now, what I found that works for me the best is 500 Hz, because 1, I'm a low sensitivity gamer, and 2, I sometimes feel that 1000 Hz can cause a little bit of jitter and inaccurate tracking, so I'm going to stick to 500. But what is weird is if you are a high sensitivity gamer, 1000 Hz actually gives you the best tracking. So if you're a high sensitivity gamer, choose 1000 Hz. If you are not, and you're someone like me who uses a really, really low DPI, put on 500 Hz. I mean, you don't have to do what I do, but it's just something that I would recommend trying to do first. And if you don't like it, always just change it to whatever you like. I mean, the mouse is supposed to fit to you, not to me, and I'm just telling you guys what works for me. So yeah, so this pretty much covers it over in the SteelSeries engine. So I'm going to meet you back on the other side.
So now that we're out of the SteelSeries engine, I just want to talk about the braided cable. So first of all, this cable, I don't like it, I'll be honest with you. I hate braided cables. 1, they're stiff. 2, they drag on my pad. And 3, they can feel very irritating. And yeah, I just don't like it because they're stiff. And yeah. If it was my preference, I would have the plastic jacket cable. Just because those are a lot lighter. They're not stiff. They're very flexible, and yeah, I mean, I can glide around my table a lot easier. Yeah, so that was probably going to be the only thing that I did not like about this mouse. Yeah, so just my little pet peeve, or just me nitpicking at the mouse. So overall comfortability, it is a very comfortable mouse. It only took me about a day or 2 to get used to. And after that day or 2, it actually became my favorite mouse. My first favorite was actually the Logitech MX518, which is a very similar coating here. It's got this like plastic, but it wasn't like necessarily a mirror, but yeah. So MX518 unfortunately is out of commission, so here I am with the Sensei. So moving right along, let's talk about the buttons. So you got 2 side buttons and another 2 side buttons. So this is an ambidextrous design, if you didn't know already. So the one on the right side is automatically set to page up and page down, so if you're web browsing you can use that. I usually set the first button here to a hotkey, so I'm frequently on Mumble or Ventrilo and I set that to my hotkey. And I used to use macros, so I used to set this button to a macro, but I don't play with macros anymore, so just don't. There's no function for that key. So I'm just gonna go over the actual feel of the mouse. So the left and right click feel really solid. You're not gonna misclick. So if you're playing 1.6 or Source, if you want a single click, you'll get a single click. If you want a double tap, you'll get a double tap. So the key presses are very nice. They're not stiff, and they're not soft. I think they're the perfect fit. Yeah, very awesome job, SteelSeries. So, the scroll wheel, I actually really like this scroll wheel. It's quite tactile. It's a very satisfying click. And you're not gonna like miss scroll or anything like that. You're not gonna it be inaccurate, because this is like one of the most accurate scroll wheels I've ever dealt with. So when you do scroll, it gives you a bump, and it lets you know when you've scrolled over one. So it's got a nice bump. It's very accurate, and yeah, probably one of my favorite scroll wheels. It's also a tilt wheel, I think. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I don't think it's a tilt wheel. I lied. So yeah, that's pretty much it about like buttons and stuff. And yes, the side buttons also have a very satisfying click. They do have quite a bit of travel distance, so just one thing to do, keep in mind. Yeah. And just a reminder that this mouse does fit pretty much like every gripping style, so whatever mouse you're coming from, either large or small, I'm pretty sure you can easily adapt to this mouse. And like I said, again, it was one of my favorites. I've used the MX518, I've used the G9, I've used the IntelliMouse, I've used the Death Adder, and out of all those, this is probably like my favorite shape. So you don't have to worry about, oh, this shape is gonna suck or anything like that, because this actually has an amazing shape. So moving along to the sensor, I just want to talk about the sensor itself. So even if you have the acceleration disabled, like I was talking about, you're still going to get that 3 to 5% acceleration, just because it is a laser mouse. It's not an optical, so unfortunately the sensor isn't flawless. So you will have to do the mouse fix. That's one thing I don't like about this mouse, is that the sensor, I mean, it's a really damn good sensor for a laser mouse, but it's not flawless. So I would like to see that the SteelSeries company start incorporating a flawless sensor like the one on the Zoe AM. That would be awesome. But other than that, I am not complaining whatsoever. So just overall build quality of the mouse was really nice. I think it looks like an awesome mouse, especially because you can change the colors of the LEDs. It's very comfortable. It's really plain and straightforward is what I like. It's easy to use. It's not this freaking hideous thing that's on my desk. It actually looks good. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't show you more angles of the mouse or anything like that, but I do have some glamour shots on my Flickr, which I will be linking in the description below, so if you want some more detailed photos, you can definitely check those out. And I think that pretty much covers it, guys. I'd really appreciate it if you would like and subscribe, because that's what keeps me motivated to do these reviews, tutorials, and unboxings for you guys in every other video I do. So yeah, it's just a motivation for me if you guys would just like my videos and just subscribe, so I know that at least somebody watches my videos. Yeah, so I think that's all I have for you guys today, and be sure to watch out for my new videos and whatnot, and I'll see you guys then. See you guys later.